Today we're going to talk about arousal and stress. Arousal is an emotion that involves activation and excitation, and then stress is an emotion that can have a positive or negative outcome on the person. The first step to controlling both arousal and stress is to become aware of them during practices and then also competition. You must increase your psychological state before you can control your thoughts and feelings. Um, This is important because it's how individuals cope with anxiety, and then it's more important than how much anxiety the individual has. So it's important for the individual to know how to cope with it instead of knowing how much anxiety they have. There are several anxiety reduction techniques. So you can do progressive relaxation, which is just tensing or relaxing specific muscles. You can do breath control, which is learning how to breathe during stressful situations. You can do biofeedback, which is a physically oriented technique that teaches people how to control their psychological and autonomic responses. You can also do relaxation responses, which teaches you how to quiet the mind, concentration, or concentrate and then reduce muscle tension. You can also do autogenic training, which consists of a series of exercises that produces sensations, which is specifically just like warming or heaviness in the body. Another stress management approach is SMT training, which is cognitive effective stress management training. This teaches a person a specific integrated coping response that uses relaxation and cognitive components to control emotional arousal. There are 5 phases to this response. There's pre-treatment assessment, which assesses the kinds of circumstances that produces stress. There is treatment rationale, which help the player understand their stress response by analyzing personal stress reactions and experiences. There's skill acquisition, which develop integrated coping responses, and then skill rehearsal using films or imagery to consult intentionally induce. Using films or imagery, the consultant intentionally induces different levels of stress. So basically, they just try to get the athlete to feel these stresses while the consultant is there. It's important to identify when high arousal levels are needed, and then in this circumstance, the athlete would be increasing their breathing, using imagery, music, positive self-talk, and then simply just acting energized in order to increase their arousal. And it's also important to regulate arousal to know when it's appropriate to increase it, and then when it's appropriate to not have increased arousal. Thank you for listening. That was the arousal and stress.